Hi guys, super happy with my 50th win as a pro. These are my favorite moments. Enjoy.
We're underway, 30 riders bursting out of the start to get themselves into this first lap of racing here in Val di Sole, and it's Fem van Empel with a very strong start through that first corner. Fem van Empel, behind her is Puck Peters in that red and white jersey as the under-23 World Cup leader, making her way towards the front, looking like she's getting a very strong start. Marianne Vos through those little whoops. But going clear now is number 4, and this is Fem van Empel. We're just trying to open up a little bit of an advantage. Lap number 1, Fem van Empel is our solo leader. Around about 6 seconds of a lead for Fem van Empel. Top 3 riders, Fem van Empel chasing her first ever World Cup victory, taking it on to, a little bit of a slide. If we go back to Dendermonde last year, that's the first time that everyone started to talk more openly about this young rider becoming a real top elite cyclocross rider. What has Fem van Empel got left in the tank? 19 years of age. Vos is closing and closing fast. Marianne Vos, absolutely majestic. Look at the way she's riding this course now. What a thrilling finale this is, and Fem van Empel now realises that she's being hunted down. Marianne Vos catches Maghalie Rochette. The dream of the Canadian may well be going here. She's already closed 9 seconds on Rochette. Marianne Vos now at the bottom of the run-up. She's going to kick it as far up this hill as she can. She almost, and just a little bit of a risk, pushing it to the limit. Vos staying aerodynamic, and now she's almost there. She glides away and powers away over the bridge. At the end of the last lap, Marianne Vos was 18 seconds behind. Now she is ominously positioned, just a few meters behind. The youngster Van Empel is refusing to succumb to the might of the best bike rider of her generation. 51 minutes, and Marianne Vos squeezes on. Vos squeezes on the inside, and Fem van Empel waits for her, and they're still going shoulder to shoulder. What an incredible finish here in Val di Sole. The youngster wins her first World Cup. Fem van Empel wins in Val di Sole. Behind her is Marianne Vos. In 3rd place is Maghalie Rochette. What a finish. And a huge day for the 19-year-old Dutch rider.
The lights are red, they turn green, and we're off for the first time in the UCI Cyclocross World Cup 2022-2023. Through the centre, it's the riders from 777 and, of course, Paul Saucers. But look at Celine del Carmen Alvarado starting like a house on fire. She wins the sprint for the first corner, Jeremy.
But I don't know how. It is extremely treacherous, steep, huge potholes in the riders. After this, Rob, it's section after section. This is very treacherous section.
If you can see feet already out there keeping balance. Just under 3 kilometres, as is habitual. The lap, we get to that first lap, and it's bang on an 8-minute lap.
There's a lot to be said here. No one, I think Van Empel is maybe feeling like she's not at, gone 100%. You can see her looking around, and that's when Alvarado sees that.
2 laps to go, nothing between the 3 and the 2, but it's these 5 surely who are going to fight it out for the win now. Incredible as well. You see the fastest laps list there, and behind.
Look at this.
They're looking as the fight happens, and Fem van Empel gets in front, but she might lose it again. Had to brake hard there, and Lucinda Brand winning the long game. It was seesawing the lead. What a fight we're seeing on the opening round.
Van Empel's in her rear cluster again. She's really in there, and they're fighting right now for position to this next off-camber section all through this, but look at Fem van Empel now trying to punch it over the top.
And we're coming up now towards the final minute or so of racing. 6 laps out of 6. The current situation is this. It's Fem van Empel who's giving it everything. Lucinda Brand who can't cope. Lucinda Brand who's struggling. And Fem van Empel is going away. Here we go then, time to kill off the speed into that finish. It's Fem van Empel who's going to take the position. Can she hold it though? And for the first time in a couple of years, you might see an opportunity for Alvarado, who comes around on the inside now and tries to open the sprint. She's digging deep, she's going for it, but Fem van Empel has it. A World Cup win in Waterloo, USA for Fem van Empel.
Dit is nog eens een samenvatting van de wedstrijd waar u daarnet naar gekeken heeft. Met het fluitje dus dat dienst deed. Veel wapperende bomen nog altijd. En een wedstrijd die super snel in een plooi lag. Hè. Ja, weinig analyse van te maken.
Ja, met een Fem van Empel die dat eigenlijk zich niks aantrok van die start. Die dat gewoon ingecalculeerd had van niet forceren in die allereerste beklimming. Dat doet er niet toe, maar dan toch wel die wedstrijd in handen nam. En dat duurde nog niet te lang.
Maar ze heeft nu een goede uitgangspositie in dit klassement, in de wereldbeker. In de superprestige, die heeft ze aan haar neus voorlopig laten voorbijgaan. Dus dat is wel een keus die ze maakt. Want anders, voor 3 klassementen en truienrijden, dat is toch te veel voor een 20-jarige.
Ja, dat is erover. Dat is erover. Dus maar ze zal wel weten wat ze aanvangt. En er zal ook wel volk genoeg rondom haar zijn. Hè. Dus, want zij komt dan ook nog een beetje uit een koersfamilie. Haar nonkel was de Ad van Empel, de framebouwer van Empella. Waar dat ze onlangs nog langs is geweest, want zij is ook een kamer aan het maken. Dus met wat trofeeën en met wat attributen. Dus zij is wel speels genoeg. Hè. Dus dat eentje gaat wel op zijn plaats komen.
Die gaat stilaan al goed gevuld, die trofeekamer. Dat gaat nog niet te lang duren voordat die helemaal vol staat.
Ja.
De trofeekamer van Fem van Empel.
Die hebben daar ook in de stad voor de tweede keer in de wedstrijd. Rente is ook al de Sven van Empel opblazen. Dokkelend over de kasseitjes. Die er al op de mond. We're almost at the end of this lap. The third out of 6 laps. 3 more laps to do over here. Finiamo a quanti secondi italiano sarà Cassa e Sola, si vedete la vincitrice del turno, non questo parmi les 4 premiers retours du monde. Dan begint je steeds meer en meer laten zien dat we terug naar de nadere kant gaan. We gaan terug naar de kassetting. Van Empel met Alvarado. Et aussi la vérification, votre applaudissement, mesdames et messieurs, superbe démonstration de ce jeune demoiselle de 20 ans, Fem van Empel, champion d'Europe. Congratulations, Sven. What a race. For Celine Carmela Alvarado. With a smile on her face, second place for Celine Alvarado, qui met de clubje à tenter de semer un peu la sous-amis du côté des Pays-Bas. C'est Casablanca qui termine à la 13e place dans la deuxième place. La deuxième place pour Hélène Joseph. Celine Carmela Alvarado en een nieuw European champion, een nieuwe Europese kampioen, Fem van Empel.
It is Fem van Empel up on the front of the race. She will be looking to add her name to the historic list that hadn't. Brand just leading the Dutch train behind Persico. So Van Empel pushes that bike slightly sideways and both riders well aware of just how much advantage it gives to Pedersen. Pedersen not getting a huge advantage there over Van Empel, going from behind to in front, and she will lead down into this descent. So we're on lap 4 of 7, 25 minutes of racing complete here at Heerde. Oh, mistake by Pedersen, she's on the floor. That's allowed Brandt to come through. Well, Peters was looking the more comfortable. Just a moment's inattention there. She's now got to get onto the wheels of Brandt quickly. This is where she's got to recover fast. And that bike down on the floor, so in they came. And that front wheel just washing out, just loses a grip there. Pushing down on the left-hand side of the bike. to the side that doesn't have the gears on there. And that now means Van Empel back into the lead solo once again, with Brand in second place and Puck Pizzi trying to close down onto Brand. Brand is trying to use this to her advantage. She won't want to tow Puck Pizzi up there. So at the moment it's Van Empel in 1, it's Peters in 2. In that silver medal position, then Brand in 3, Persco in 4, Alvarado in 5, Verst in 6, Betsma in 7, Van der Heijden in 8. Oh, what a season for Fem van Empel so far. She's taken the win in the World Cup, looking like she's going to add a rainbow jersey to that. When are we going to see the emotion take hold as she comes round? Shake of the head there. She's looking behind. There's nobody behind you. A masterclass. She gets the crowd up in the air. This is it. She knows she's done it. It is race win. Rider of the season, surely. Fem van Empel, world champion for 2023. What a ride, and what an absolutely superb athlete that can just bring it when she needs it. What a result.
Let's have a look back at the highlights. Fem van Empel just didn't quite have the first lap that she wanted, and it was the second lap where she made the difference. And she is coming into these races with such a lot of pressure on her young shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, Alvarado was able to hold as long as possible, but it just wasn't long enough on such a tough course. And Fem already had a solid gap by the end of the second lap. And although the riders were trying, they just didn't have the same power that she has in the field. And Alvarado was able to ride a really smooth race, really nice lines, and still wasn't quite there at the front.
And the rise of Fem in these races and throughout the races has been meteoric. And we saw Celinda Carmen Alvarado in this position, Inge van der Heijden, Sara Casasola. This is like one of the career performances, if not a career-defining moment for Sara Casasola today.
Yeah, she was super strong out the saddle, out of corners. She was, even in these muddy conditions, she was really riding really well. And she was never quite able to get close enough to Alvarado, but Fem won by 1 minute and 35 seconds. In the end, it was a really dominant performance. But in terms of mentally being at your best in order to win these races, even when you are the very, very best rider in the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that you always believe it. And when you're racing with other people, it's almost easier to race with 2 riders that are capable of beating you, because the pressure's divided equally amongst 3. Whereas you see in interviews, they're always asking her, is it boring? Is it boring for you to win all the time? You're so strong, you're going to win. And
away the riders go. This is the Elite Championships for women here at the 2024 UCI Cyclocross World Championships. It's all about making sure that you get out of this corner safely. Orange train is forming at the front. The locomotive driving onwards at the moment is Fem van Empel, then Alvarado, followed by Brand, then Verdonschot. Big dive up the inside, though. A fantastic move there. That is Casasola, who's moved through. So the riders are really pushing to stay up at the front. Fem van Empel on the front, and this is dangerous, having Van Empel there for the rest of that race field. Brand powers up that bank. Alvarado having to get off. He just saw Bakker getting off. Peterson sitting in 4th wheel, not in a problem down there. Looks like that was a little bit of a stall for Alvarado. The bike goes onto her shoulder. She's going to have dropped from 2nd down to 3rd place. And Brand coming down here and really trying to carry as much speed as you can through that turn as you go in towards the first set of steps. So 5 Netherlands riders, now 6 Netherlands riders to the top of the steps. Then Casasola. At the moment, the gap's starting to open now. Fem van Empel clear by 10 seconds from Pieterse and Brand. Casasola first for Donshot in the light blue, followed by Closel in the blue. You can see that these positions are going to change pretty much non-stop on the way through. Now Lucinda Brand, a rider on a comeback. Now chases on behind our race leader, but at the moment they're not getting any time back. Oh, look at the power going down from Brand there. It's such a balance between putting enough power to get up the back, not too much power to spin that wheel up. As the Donshot starts to close down on the back there of Casasola. Brand working incredibly hard. Look at her sucking in the oxygen there. Oh! That's gotta hurt. That was a shit to the edge of the step there. Down past the pit for the last time. Comes tight round that corner. That's a smile now. She breaks into a smile. The emotions are going to show as she comes down the straight here. Well, it's going to be 2 out of 2. It's kaboom! She takes it. The world champion of the 2024 Cyclocross World Championships.
You are looking at the best of the best here, just throwing these big challenges at each other through all of these corners onto the steps. Brand has to brake a little bit, goes right. Van Empel goes wide. Casasola on the back. They're going to go 3 up as they exit onto the downhill. Who's got the momentum? Lucinda Brand attacks over the top from that long shot. We'll see when the camera angle switches around, but it's Brand on the front. You can feel the speed here, Jeremy, on this course.
Oh my gosh, what an exciting race here. Now, where will Alvarado come around? But you can see this is what Brand looks like when she's in control, but giving 110%. Right now, Alvarado's going to be looking for any moment where she can just shoot underneath, but we know, Marty, where it comes down with those 3 lines on this big off-camber section, that's where the race is to, in my opinion. The only other place to overtake is in that 180 chicane after, just before they get to the pit. So here it goes, Marty, all the way up to this off-camber sector.
And Alvarado gets the front, chooses her line, goes wide. Brand goes wide, so does Fem van Empel, but it's Alvarado on the front. Sara Casasola gap just a little bit. It looks like it's going to be a 3-up race now for the European title, but Alvarado has the front. We know how technically brilliant she's been throughout this race so far. The elite women's title. Will we see anyone try and come over the top into this turn? The answer is no, because Alvarado just a couple of meters gap. It's going to come down. Oh, Brand dabs. That might hand the race and title here to Alvarado. A dab from Lucinda Brand as Van Empel tries to find their way through. They are 2 up through that corner, but a dab, a mistake there on the final lap from Lucinda Brand as sailing. Alvarado is the front. Van Empel closes it up and Brand has 10 meters.
Right now, those are the mistakes that we talk about in cyclocross, Marty. You got to capitalize from those moments. Can Alvarado make it through this? The test now is for Van Empel and now for Brand. Can she make it through? Yes, she can, but now a couple of bike lengths to Alvarado. She comes up to this very steep final part right before they hit the road. Is it enough of a gap for Alvarado to keep Van Empel at bay?
Alvarado's got the front. Van Empel trying to close it down. Fem van Empel, super swift, as already on the drop, shifting through the gears, through the chicane. They're going to line this one up. Alvarado has the front. Fem van Empel, can she find the momentum? Alvarado kicks for the line. Van Empel's in the slipstream. Sailing Alvarado's the front. Fem van Empel comes alongside. Fem van Empel comes through and takes it right on the line. The world champion. Mighty sprint from Van Empel. What a race. Boom. Fem van Empel takes it to Boomtown. You've got to say with that, what a ride.
Look at the big power output from those log lifts. She's just able to just punch that. Alvarado realizes, like, I don't have another kick in me. This is it. And she did everything that she could.
Valpartij van Empel vroeg in de wedstrijd. Dat leek een beetje een kruis te maken over haar ambities. Dat fnuikte de goesting. Maar uiteindelijk herstelde ze zich daar toch van. En zou ze mondjesmaat voorzichtig hoor in het begin. Want ja, ze naderde echt seconde per seconde. Ze deed er geen happen van 5 of 10 seconden vanaf.
Het is nog straffer, hè? Als we terugflitsen. Die komt terug van 30 seconden.
Klopt.
Ja.
Brandt heel even tegen de grond, maar niet zo heftig als Van Empel. En ook niet zoals Pietersen. Dus ze zijn allemaal wel even tegen de grond geweest. Maar bij Brandt viel het dan nog enigszins mee. Op het moment dat Brandt bij Pietersen kwam, die nam meteen over. En dan leek dat lange tijd de sprong naar de winst. Pietersen die daar geen verhaal tegen had. Het zou uiteindelijk van Van Empel moeten komen. Die hielden dan elkaar een tijdje lang gezelschap. Ook zij geraakten niet onmiddellijk van elkaar af. En heel lang zag het er naar uit dat zij zouden stranden op 2 en 3. De volgorde moesten ze dan zelf maar uitvechten. Want Brandt had een veilige marge. Maar dat zou dus in de slotronde veranderen. Dit was ook een belangrijke passage.
Ja, wel niet te versmaden. Deze passage. Zij blijft op de fiets. Zij rijdt daar los door. En daar pakt ze minstens 3 seconden. Dus dat kan ook al helemaal het punt geweest zijn.
En dat geeft de burger moed. Ook hier, dit was een stevige inspanning. Kijk, heel ver. Het zuur tot achter de oren gereden om toch nog maar dichter bij Brandt te komen. Maar zelfs hier, want dit was nog 1,5 minuut cross, denk ik. Er moest nog altijd 20 meter dichtgereden worden. Hier had dan Brandt redelijk wat moeite met die bochtjes en die gleuven. En hier was het dus dan gebeurd. Je kon eigenlijk al voorspellen wat er hier zou gebeuren.
Ja, die is zo rap, die Fem van Empel. Even in de slipstream en er dan uitkomen en dan nog jumpen als een volleerde sprinter.
Let's go green. This start absolutely critical. And watch what's happening to see this gap open. Pietersen and Van Empel opening up here. It's 7 seconds the gap now. At the moment, all 3 riders clear of Blankenvash. Vash currently 17 seconds down. So Brown powers on now. Fem van Empel moves from left to right. She sees the express train leaving the station. She wants to be hanging on. She's distanced, but Pietersen, the bell rings out. It is the last lap. 1 more lap to go on day 2. Now the wind-up comes. Brand starts to move up this banking. Van Empel goes round the side of her. She overtakes her on the bank. This is where Van Empel has been strong. So she's now taken the race lead. This puts her in at the front, but she has not distanced Brand by enough. Surely Brand is going to pull back on this descent. Brand always looking for somewhere to make that move. Goes on the left-hand side there. Drives on through, carries the pace, just a different gear. Lower gear, higher cadence. Puts the pressure back on. What a race, what a battle. Up on the inside comes Fem van Empel. I'll tell you something, neither of them want to relinquish that race lead. Van Empel goes wide. She keeps the line. The pressure on from Brand, though. Brand runs here. First time we've seen Brand do that. Carries the momentum side by side on the banking. All close to the net in a shake of the head there by Lucinda Brand. Brand winding up. Van Empel winds as well. Brand's going to come on the left-hand side. Surely of Van Empel. She can't come past her yet. How much has she got left? Has the mistake happened? No, it's gone on the bank. That's going to be it, surely. The gap is too big. Brand puts her head down. Fem van Empel is going to make it 3 wins in a row.
It was Hélène Clauzel of France on the right in the black. Inge van der Heijden straight down in the green and white. Fem van Empel got a great start, as did Leonie Bentveld. We've got to give a big shout out as well to Zoe Roach from Great Britain. That showed Annemiek van Alphen going down on the first lap. And I think that also puts into perspective the ride that Van Alphen's done today.
Like, she had a solid gap by the end of the first lap, and yes, the riders were able to come back, but she's really trying, and she's trying in different ways, and I think that we're going to see some really good things from her this year. I really expect that. And Clauzel again fighting and fighting the whole way around.
And I think today it's the bunny hop technique, I think, from Fem van Empel as well. As Annemiek van Alphen, we've known for a long time, has been bunny hopping since she came into racing. We remember seeing Annemiek with Puk Pietersen when they were sort of the 17-year-olds bunny hopping a little bit further down the field. But I think that's a real warning sign for everyone else for the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and although we had a huge momentum from the first riders that were bunny hopping, like the likes of Ellen Noble, way back, and we've seen a real, as we're going to see here, as Van Alphen's back wheel slides out, and she just manages to keep pedaling and get more traction as she gets around that corner and heads out again. And yeah, it was important today for sure. It gave Van Empel the opportunity to make some moves, but at the end,
It's Van Alphen can also bunny hop, and she can do it better than Van Empel can. So, you know, on this last lap, we saw that she chose not to do that because she didn't want to make a mistake and she didn't want to risk anything. So that's how she's not as confident as somebody like Annemiek van Alphen when it comes to that.
Indeed, Van Empel accelerating over Annemiek van Alphen here as we just get those, picked up those back markers. And we have an 80% raw, but it just shows how quick they're going on that final lap. But she had that tucked down the front of her skin suit for the entire race. It's win number 50 for Fem van Empel. That's a real milestone as well for Fem.